All right, good morning, gang. Here we are back live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street, Barrie, Vermont. You got the Aired Out Podcast. Good day. Happy Friday, TGIF. Hope you're off to a great start. Lily gave me a nice kiss on the cheek this morning, so I said to her, no matter what happens to me today, honey, it's going to be a good day. Hope you have a great weekend. We are right in front of Labor Day weekend. Yes, we can see it. We can smell it. We can taste it. A lot of grills going to be fired up. Whatever you do, don't be an ass and drink and drive this weekend or anytime, but especially this weekend. Police going to be out looking for you. All right. National Cinema Day is Saturday, tomorrow, and FGB Theaters is celebrating. All tickets are $3 for all shows all day Saturday. Plus, you get a small popcorn and a drink for just $5. We love FGB Theaters, the Capitol Showplace Theater and the Paramount Theater. They've been a presenting sponsor of the Aired Out Podcast since it started in 2018, and we're blessed to have them as a sponsor, of course, but even more blessed to have two unbelievable movie theaters right here in Central Vermont. So here's what's playing. Capitol Showplace Theater matinees. Don't forget both Saturday and Sunday. Gigi and Nate. We have Top Gun Maverick, Spider-Man, Elvis, DC, the League of Super Pets, Where the Crawdads Sing, which I've heard about, haven't seen it yet. Paramount Twin Cinema right here in the Granite City. Let's see. What do we have? Spider-Man, Minions, The Rise of Gru, and The Invitation, which is the rated R1. So that's it. That's what's going on. So, again, $3 gets you in to a movie on Saturday. Well, here we are. And I'm going to try to see if I can sneak this guy on the air right now. It has been a very long time since I have spoken.
Good morning, Mr. Dave.
There he is. What's going on, Dave Moody?
JD, what's happening, my man?
What's happening, brother? You all right?
I'm all right. I'm better than all right. I am thriving, living the life, living the dream.
Where the hell are you, Dave?
Well, at this moment, I am in McBee, South Carolina, one of the world's greatest speed traps, making my way very methodically at 35 miles an hour toward Darlington Raceway, where the NASCAR playoffs begin on Sunday.
Fantastic. You're living the dream, brother. How long you been down there now?
I've been here in North Carolina for 12 years now. Obviously doing the racing thing for a heck of a lot longer than that.
Wow. And tell us about your show on Sirius.
Well, I've been doing that now for, it'll be 18 years in November. We do 4 hours a day on the Sirius XM satellite radio NASCAR channel. Talk to a lot of race fans, a lot of race car drivers, crew chiefs, team owners, and the like. We're having a ball, man. It's like the old days back home in Vermont of covering high school sports. I can't believe I got paid to do what I liked then. I can't believe I get paid to do what I like now.
So here we have the American Canadian Tour returning to the Granite City, Thunder Road, of course, which is where you cut your teeth. The 44th New England Federal Credit Union Labor Day Classic 200 on Sunday. You must, you've got, come on, man, you got to miss calling these races.
I do. You know, it kills me when the Milk Bowl comes around, when the Labor Day Classic comes around. I wish I could be there. I was for 30 years. I was on the microphone at Thunder Road, thanks to Ken Squire. I miss it. I get home at least once every summer to take in a race. Did earlier this summer, and that's probably it for me because the rest of the races are all on weekends where I'm working.
Wow. Yeah, 200 laps, $5,000 to win. I think it's a little bit more than that for the Milk Bowl, isn't it? Like $100,000 or so.
Yeah, well, not quite. Boy, if it was that, you'd have some turnout.
Yeah,
but
it's huge.
They're big races, and over and above the money they pay to win, JD, it's the fact that they've got those They've got those granite columns up behind the main announce tower. One for the Memorial Day Classic, one for the Milk Bowl, one for the Labor Day Classic. And if you win those, your name gets engraved on those granite columns, and you're there forever. That's a big deal.
What are some of the names that stand out for you that are etched in that granite?
Well, when I was growing up, I idolized the guys that raced in at Thunder Road in the mid '70s when I started out. It was Dave Dion and the Dragon Brothers, Bobby and Beaver, and Jean-Paul Cabana, and the Southern guys would come up and try and steal our money. Butch Lindley and Bob Presley and Harry Gant, and it was like we were still fighting the Civil War back then, right? If one of those Southern guys came north and won the race and beat our guys on our turf, man, we were not happy about it. Those were great days.
Oh yeah, Dale Shaw, Brian Hoare, Patrick LaPearl, Nick Sweet. The list goes on.
See, and I'm blessed and cursed at the same time on this, JD, because kids like Nick Sweet and Jason Corliss and guys like that, I watched them grow up at Thunder Road, right? They were babes in arms when they started coming to that racetrack, and it's so cool to see because they've climbed the ladder. They started out in the entry level street stock, or some of them even the Road Warrior division, and they've just made their way to the top, and they've become every bit as good as the Dions and the Dragons and Cabana were back in the '70s.
This is one of the toughest of the touring series this weekend. Woody Pitcat going to be jumping back into his number 91 this Sunday. Bobby Therian, Brooks Clark, strong local runners, former winners of the Labor Day Classic. These are names that everybody knows.
They really are, and I will tell you this, JD, you are blessed up there to have the American Canadian Tour and the Pro All Stars Series Super Late Model Tours to follow. You get down here in the South, and the touring series on a good night will pull 20 or 21 cars. ACT this year has averaged high 20s to low 30s. All of their, and there's no junk in the field, man. If you're there, you're in it to win it, and you're very fortunate in that part of the country that touring and local series stock car racing is as strong as it is.
What Dave, have you had a chance to see what Pat Malone and Chris have done up here?
I was home earlier this year, and yes, I have. And I've known Chris forever and a day because he's one of those guys that started out, racing in the Flying Tiger division and went on to become a track champion and now is, co-owner of the track. I went to school with Pat Malone, right? He and I grew up together pretty much. And what they've been able to do has taken Thunder Road to the next level. Ken Squire and Tom Curley made that place one of the premier short tracks in the nation with decades of hard work. Pat and Chris have taken the ball and absolutely run with it. And down here, when people ask me where I'm from, and I say Vermont, they're like, "Wait a minute, is that the track where they kiss the cow?" Well, yes, it is. It's the track where they kiss the cow if you win the Milk Bowl. But you are I'll say this again at the risk of repeating myself, you are so blessed to have a track like Thunder Road in your backyard because there are very few like it.
Have you seen the new lighting and the new spectator area for folks that want to tailgate and folks that have disabilities?
It's awesome. It really is. And I joked with Chris and Pat when they first announced that they were going to, the lighting system that was there was installed the day the place opened in 1960, and it looked like it. I mean, it struggled. And when they announced that they were going to go with this high-dollar lighting system, I mean, it's brighter than high noon there now. I asked them, I said, "Are you sure you want to do that? There's a chance that the racing has been lousy since 1960, but nobody could see it to tell the difference." But it's really been amazing. They've made so many upgrades to that racetrack. The best seating in the place now is turn 3, Forsyth Hill, where they've leveled it off and they've contoured it so people can throw their lawn chair down and just sit there and watch the race. It's a tremendous place to hang out on a Thursday night or a Sunday afternoon.
Dave Moody, our guest this morning on Aired Out. Dave, did you get the memo about Caden Fisher, Jamie Fisher's kid?
The tropical storm, my man. Yes, I have. I've seen him race a few times now, and man, is he a chip off the old block. That's like, that's like the third generation of Fishers that have been involved at Thunder Road. His dad, Jamie the Hurricane, was a tremendous driver, and this kid is a chip off the old block. He's winning races at a ridiculously young age. He races with a maturity and a poise and a calm that a lot of guys twice his age haven't been able to master. He is going to be, you talk about the names on those columns, his name's going to be on those columns, and it's not going to be long either.
And Stephen Donahue has had a hell of a season, too. I don't know if you've followed it all.
See, you're making me feel old again because, Stephen Donahue was carried in as an infant the first time I knew him. The Donahue family is another example. And this is one of the things that makes Thunder Road so great. There are so many second and third generation drivers taking part up there on the top of Quarry Hill. His grandfather, Paul, was a great racer, won a lot of races. His dad is a great racer. His uncle is a great racer, and he's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm very familiar with what young Stephen Donahue can do in a race car.
Dave, when's the next time you're going to come up to Thunder Road and grab a microphone?
Well, I don't grab the microphone because Aaron Maynard has that job now, right? I did it for 30 years. I enjoyed every minute of it, but it was time to pass the baton. Aaron Maynard does a fantastic job. He was a kid that his family sat right in front of the tower for many, many years. And the rest of the family would all be looking straight ahead at the racetrack watching the race. Aaron was always turned around looking at me. He wanted to be the track announcer from about the time he learned to talk. And he hasn't stopped talking since, by the way, and he does a tremendous job. So when I come to Thunder Road, I sit in the grandstands, just like any other paying customer, and I just enjoy the show.
I bet you do. Man, I have fond memories of you and I working together back at Radio Vermont, WDEV, with your show, which was what, the Inside Track?
Yep, exactly right. And the thing about that, JD, that show, it's a heck of a lot shorter than what I do now. It was 1 hour once a week. I do 4 hours 5 days a week. But it's the exact same show because back then we'd spend the first half hour telling everybody who won the races, and then we'd open up the phone lines and everybody complain about, how Robbie Crouch didn't deserve to win it. Dwayne Lanphier is a dirty so-and-so. It's the same thing now, just on the national level.
Wow. What's your predictions? And I know you said you're headed to Darlington right now. How's the weekend going to shake down? What are you interested in?
It's going to be very interesting because obviously it's the first race of the playoffs, 10-race playoffs. We start with 16 drivers. We'll run the first 3 races and then we'll eliminate 4. We'll run 3 more races, eliminate 4, 3 more races, eliminate 4, and then the final 4 guys will go head-to-head for the championship in Phoenix. It's critical to get off to a good start this weekend. You do not want to have an early problem and dig your grave halfway to the ground before you even get started. So there are going to be a lot of guys that are going to be cautiously aggressive. If that's a thing, that's the goal, to be cautiously aggressive this weekend at Darlington.
If somebody had a checkered flag in their hand at the end of the race, who would you love to most see that happen to?
Well, I'm not much for predictions because it's easy to predict who's going to win a baseball or football or basketball game because there's only 2 teams on the court. Trying to predict a NASCAR race, you're picking 1 out of 40, and that means you're generally going to be wrong. But in terms of past performance, Denny Hamlin has been the man here. There is something about this racetrack that just suits his style. He got banged up a little bit in one of those multi-car wrecks at Daytona last weekend. He's got a little bit of racer's rheumatism, that stiffness and soreness that you carry around for a couple of days, but he's going to be 100% in time for Sunday. If I had to bet the mortgage on somebody, it would probably be him.
Dave Moody, thank you so much, buddy. Man, absolute shot in the arm this morning having you on, buddy.
Always a pleasure, my friend. It's like a flashback to about 1987. I don't even know what year it was now. It's been so long, but we had a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah, we did, man. Listen, when you get up here, please carve out 5 or 10 minutes to jump into the studio right here on North Main Street, right across from Nelson's, aired out. hop on the mic with me. Share it with me again, if you would.
I would love to do it anytime. My pleasure.
All right,
Take care,
buddy.
bud.
Over and out.
See ya.
Dave Moody this morning, who is on the road and headed to Darlington right now for the race on weekend. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your eyes and your ears. We're always live. We're never edited. I've got the ever handsome Rex Thompson.
Yeah, we just had that other local legend, Dave. Like, I grew up around here. Everybody knows Dave Moody.
My God.
Like, it was a huge thing if you ever got to meet Dave Moody. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, he was the superstar around here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, he's just kicking ass. He's all over Sirius satellite radio. Has been for, I think he said 18 years.
Wow. Time goes by, man.
Yeah, damn.
Time goes by.
By the way, we're on Sirius Satellite now. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, TuneIn Radio, Podchaser, Deezer, Podcast Addict, GeoSavan, and all of these are on Sirius Satellite. So
you're hitting the big time now.
Well,
man.
now I'm getting now we're getting text messages from folks that are like, "Yeah, I heard your show," and when someone says, "I heard your show," that tells me they're listening, not watching. That they're not catching it on YouTube or Facebook. And I said, I always like to say, "Oh, which platform? Spotify, iHeartRadio, which one?" And they're like, "Sirius." So,
wow.
So you've got something going on with some social media too that you were partnering up with.
All the calls.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So All the Calls is Ben Fields. It's he does a combat sports podcast. They're based out of New York, so we have a lot of New York fighters. He had me on last night for that. But what are you particularly talking about?
There was something else that you were saying, and I can't remember right now. That you wanted to partner up with me. You wanted to pull me into it.
We've been working on Roku TV.
That's it. Roku TV.
Yep, we've been working on opening up our own Roku channel. It's in the works. It's in the near future. Because we thought about joining on to like Fight TV and stuff like that, but they own the rights to all of our videos and stuff after that. So we're exploring opening up our own Donnybrook Roku TV channel.
So what's the status on that? I mean, does it look like it's?
We met with the executives. It's now we have to get other people on board because we have to have content for it, and it's super expensive.
Okay. Sure.
So, like a membership a year is like $25,000 a year.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Right, but we get to own all of our content. We get to broadcast it anytime they go on to Roku TV. On a Roku, they could watch us. They can watch our fights on Roku. So,
brother, I'm so happy you're in here.
Also, we have an app. We have a new downloadable mobile app for Donnybrook Fight Promotions.
What is it called?
DonnybrookFightPromotions.com.
That's so great.
Get right on there, and there's the mobile app you can download for your phone.
Okay. I need to thank you for telling me that. I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
you come in here, I have to take notes. I'll be doing that later. I'll get that on.
So another local legend, not legend, but another local guy that's pretty popular around here is Chris Peralt.
Yeah.
Chris Peralt in I want to talk about the main event, stuff like that, but
sure.
While we're here,
yeah,
I'm going to talk about local fighters.
Of course.
So for the people and fans that don't know, Chris Peralt grew up around here. He wrestled out of St. Johnsbury. He used to come down here. He's friends with all the wrestlers. Every wrestling team, every wrestling coach, every wrestler in Vermont knows the Peralt boys. Chris Peralt. Chris wrestled for Plymouth. He went into MMA. He's undefeated. He's from the St. J area. He's always down here. Just good kids. So that kid has been training. He made it into the top 10 in New England at 170 pounds. He is 3-0 right now, undefeated.
Jesus.
Yeah, so we matched him up against a guy named Kenyon Moore. Kenyon Moore's coach is UFC heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, Glover Teixeira. So Glover is training Kenyon. This is Chris's biggest fight. This is a local Vermont boy from this area that's going to fight a UFC fighter's top prospect. in an amateur title fight right here at the Barrie Auditorium.
Kudos to you, man, and your daughter Taylor or Donnybrook Fight Promotions for creating a card like this, putting it together. Being a matchmaker is not an easy task. You really have to sit and sharpen your pencil on something like that.
That's why we only have 4 fights a year, because we try to research all the fighters.
Right.
I mean, because it happens, you can still get bamboozled by them. You'll think a guy's a stud, and they show up and they're not exactly who they claim to be.
Yep. That's happened.
That's
happened.
That has happened.
But that's
right.
life.
So
that's
but we
par for the
learned
course
we learned from
as a
that.
promoter.
We learned from those mistakes.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
So, and I talked about this last night when we were on the podcast, and the difference between our promotion. If I just wanted to fill a card, that's easy. I can grab people. I have 30 fights on it. It could be local guys, whatever, But we try to build cards that fighters want to come see, because everybody in our family, that's the difference. Everybody in our family trains. We all train. We understand how fights should look. We understand, when someone tells you I'm the baddest MMA fighter or I'm the baddest street fighter, and I'm like, all right, man, can I get you to hit some pads? I understand. I can look at that and be like, all right, man, you're good in your head, but you're not in real life. Okay, I imagine your ego is huge, but that's not. So we recognize all that. So when we're picking these fights, we look at stylistically what's a good matchup. Like Kenyon and Chris they're so close in their fighting. I think this is going to be a 5-round grind is what it's going to be. I really do.
You think Kenyon's fully aware of?
Oh, I think they're both studs. Kenyon's didn't make it into the number 7 ranked guy in New England by not taking people seriously. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, no, the guy's a savage. They're both studs. They're young. They're very similar in their styles. They're the way that they're coached, everything. It's
now back in the early days when you started doing this as a promoter, it was more,
It was called the Redneck Ruckus.
Getting Edward Magoon in there.
Yeah, Eddie the Bee Stinger. We got Eddie the Bee Stinger, and
who had a couple of beers, I think, possibly. We don't know.
We don't know that.
We never will.
Nope, nothing verified. So
right, that was the early days.
Those were the early days, and we learned a lot from them.
Parking lot of the Moose Club.
Yeah,
Williamstown.
Well, no, it started inside, but we could only fit 185 people, and we sold the thing twice, and I was like, well, now we have to move outside.
Yes.
There was cars all the way down Main Street, everything. It was crazy.
I know.
Remember the Battle of the Bad Tattoos?
Yes.
So nowadays they have they have one, and it's called Rough and Rowdy, and it's kind of along the similar lines, but we wanted to really... We didn't want to be the laughing stock of Vermont. We didn't want our fighters to be... There was fighters that really wanted to be fighters.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and you started to see that early on.
Yeah, and I didn't... I noticed what other states thought of. They used to send people here to get their guys to warm up on the Vermont guys. Like, go beat up a couple Vermont guys because they smoke cigarettes outside the auditorium before their fight.
Sure.
They're easy wins. You can go get yourself an easy belt over in Vermont.
Right.
So that I didn't like that, because I saw there was, here and there was guys like Chris Peralt, that the Ed Collins that took fighting very seriously.
Yeah.
A lot of guys that, at UFAI. So I wanted to create a platform for those guys.
Yep.
The guys that took it serious. And now you see there's so many more people coming in taking this,
Sure. Well, here you are, Donnybrook Fight Promotions now.
We're still in our infancy, man.
I know, but you're already the only sanctioned MMA.
Yeah, not by choice. Not by choice, man. And that's the thing is,
You had to.
Well, yeah, we went through the process. We did the process the right way.
Yeah.
That's it.
With the state of Vermont.
The state of Vermont with everything. They still bust my balls every single show. I know people think that, like, we're somehow in bed with the state and everything else. At the last minute, where did I tell you I was at this morning? Because they weren't even going to approve my event license this morning. So I don't get no easy. They hold me to the fire. I think sometimes they hold me to the fire worse than they would anybody else, just because I was involved in the sanctioning and stuff. So I get no slack on this whatsoever. My T's have to be crossed, my I's have to be dotted. Otherwise, I am jeopardizing my promoter's license, my event license. You know, and that's thousands of dollars that I just by not doing it the right way and not doing my due diligence to make sure I'm doing it the right way.
Right.
It's getting easier with the systems, but every time the state's like, well, we want to now add this in there, or you know, we need this to and they're in their infancy also.
So here we are, September 10th.
Yes.
Is right in front of us, my man.
Yeah, you know what the other thing is that drives me nuts? Here we are. We're on Aired Out, right? So I can air this shit out.
We're live.
This is right to the city council people. Okay. No, you have a beautiful building up there that can't afford to be maintained. I know you people have $6 million and you want to bring people into the city of Barrie. Here we are. I'm spending $50,000 up there to put a show on in an old ass building that you won't give them any money for to upgrade it. I can go to Mass Mutual down in Massachusetts. They'll sell my tickets for me. They'll promote for me for the same exact price that I'm paying for that old ass building. The only reason I pay for that old ass building is because I want to bring something to the city of Barrie. Put some money into those buildings and people will show up.
It was hotter than balls.
You know what?
When was that?
Capitalists,
was that June?
Let individual people build housing, low-income housing. There's a shit ton of money out there to do it. There's a bunch of money. Stop letting your legislatures, your city councils get involved in that bullshit.
Yeah.
We can go out and get our own money. We're builders. We can go do this. I don't need a politician to hold my hand that has never done this before.
When was the battle in Barrie 7? Was it May or June?
Oh, yeah. It was April, wasn't it? May.
It was May.
Yeah.
And we had a heat wave.
It was so hot in there. That's why we can't.
Did you see me sweating?
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm telling. That's why we can't have shows in the summer.
Dripping off of my eyebrows into my eyes.
We canceled all shows in the summer because they don't have AC in that building. You have an event center without AC.
My eyes were red. People thought I was stoned. It was because there was so much sweat dripping into my eyes.
Yeah, because we have the lights from the production crew. We have all that. How can you have a building like that and not put money into it?
So
that is a moneymaker. That place could be a moneymaker. It brings so much revenue into this city.
There are some in city government that don't necessarily have as high of a priority set on that as what you're saying right now.
You just lost the craft fair. You're about the gun show. I'm telling you right now. So if I buy a piece of land,
farm show,
if I buy a piece of land, I'll build my own building.
Yeah,
and I'm not above being that petty. Just but you have a beautiful building. It's already set up. Yeah. It needs a little TLC. That's all it needs. And in order to get that TLC, use the government money. Stop coming up with harebrained ideas on how to blow the freaking money. Blow the money after you've rebuilt your infrastructure and taken care of things in this goddamn city. Stop coming up with harebrained ideas.
How many people can you pack into the Barrie Auditorium?
Oh, you can get 2,200 people inside of there. That's a good venue.
All right.
And if you had it updated and stuff like that, maybe with lights, can you imagine? I would do so many other promotions, productions, things that you could bring there. And you can't tell me that you can't get big names up there. Just look at the professional wrestlers. Look at the professional fighters. I have UFC fighters that come to that venue.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to say? Well, you're in Barrie, the ghetto Barrie. This is what you get. No, man, make it fucking nice. Make people want to come here.
Sure. Yeah, and you've been doing this for a long time. This is the Battle in Barrie 8.
Yeah, so we started calling it the Battle in Barries. Before that, we had several shows before that also. So
this is true. Yeah. So this is for the Barrie Auditorium. This is time number 5-ish.
No,
there?
this is Battle and this is 8.
This is 8.
Yep.
So there's 2 a year.
No, we try to do 3 to 4.
3 to 4 a year.
Yeah, we've only been able to get 3 out a year so far because of you can't rent the auditorium in the summer.
You can,
but it costs you. But you have no AC. You have, the lights. We have to bring our own lights. The sound system sucks. We bring our own sound system.
Yeah.
You can't hear when I speak into the mic. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
So I can say anything I want. I just and it was something like that.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about this, people on the city council board, this is real. This is something you're losing business because you're not upkeeping your building.
Yeah.
Don't let that thing fall apart. The taxpayers paid millions of dollars to build that.
Yeah.
Now use some of that grant money so the taxpayers aren't paying.
Well, ARPA funds.
ARPA.
The bathrooms need to be updated. The electrical.
Yeah, because you think anybody stops using the bathroom because the bathroom doesn't work? After every show, that thing is piled with shit. It has not worked since we started that freaking thing.
Yeah.
Like a bathroom, that's not a priority.
Yeah, right.
Housing becomes a priority. That's something 10 years down the freaking road.
Yeah.
Fix what you got to fix that we already own.
Have you ever thought about going in front of city council and saying this?
No, I'm sure they'll hear me.
Tell me about. Let's get into the main event here.
Yes,
please. And we're going to talk about tickets and everything for
So
some people.
If you can see in the background that the sexiest Harley Davidson you've ever seen in your life, I just got that at Wilkins Harley Davidson. Great people up there. Rebecca, John Lyons, Eric, all them guys. Trevor, who worked on it. Roscoe works up there. Chris, all them guys are super good. But with that said, for this next week and weekend, I am local. I keep about 50 tickets inside of that motorcycle. I will hand deliver tickets for you if you are local around here. If you want, you can order them through the website, DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com. You can get them. We mail them to you, or we'll have them on the on-call, just like the Flynn Theater, stuff like that.
So people just hit you up on Facebook.
They can hit me up, 802-249-3276. If you put my number in there, it's the same thing. It's Barslow Construction. You can call me. I'll bring you tickets. If you buy multiple tickets, we'll give you discounts. Mm-hmm. We have limited VIP tables left, the front row. So this time what we're doing with the show is all the floor seating is VIP tables. Those VIP tables are $600. They seat 6 people. Gusto's has waitresses that come to your table.
Right.
Everything else is general admission beyond the tables up in the bleachers.
Right. And they don't just come to Gusto's kicks ass. They don't just come to your table once and then again at the end of the night. The waitresses are constantly on you. Saying,
they hustle. They work their ass off. Plus the special that they just came up with there.
Yeah.
That, I called Josh. I was like, Josh, I have a wonderful idea. I love this. It's one of my favorite foods. And I said, I want you to bake me up some tater tots. I want you to put a bunch of bacon over top of that, bacon bits over that. And then I want you to put cheese over top of all that. And I want you to call that my Donny Tots. And he said, you know what? That's a great idea, Rex. So we're going to have a special called Donny Tots of these tater tots.
Let's see the bicep for a second. Just give me just. So that doesn't look
natural,
consistent with someone who's putting down the tater tots. So
if you put in the work, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. Look at Lucas John eats like 3 large pizzas a day and those are just his snacks. He's still 145 pounds. I wish I could do that again.
What's the phone number again?
802 249 3276.
3276.
Oh, you know,
and that's your number for tickets.
Yes, it'll come up Barslow Construction, but I'll get you tickets.
Is it too late to get them online at DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So another sponsor that we just hooked up with, super cool. This is okay. So it's been taboo for so long. Marijuana has just been a super taboo thing. Oh, don't talk about it. Well, now it's legal. So we have a sponsor, and they're called Tall Truck. They're a premium indoor marijuana growing facility.
Really?
And they're local. So they will be at our show for the weigh-ins. They bring free samples. They're packaged up. It's called Tall Truck. They come in all different varieties, flavors, and he's going to be giving out free samples at the show. For all of the fighters are going to get their fighters and coaches are going to get their packaged up samples. If you're over 18, you can get a free sample at the show. So I just want to let everybody know you go up there, you buy a t-shirt, he gives you a little free sample of his product, 100% legal in the state of Vermont, but he is going to be there vending. They're one of our new sponsors. We hope everything works out for him because he will possibly sponsor all the shows. The other one is the Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams.
Really?
We just picked them up. Same thing. They're doing a small sponsorship to see if they work with, they'll do all the shows as the main sponsor. As always, Wilkins Harley Davidson, John Lyons, those people up there, just great people. We have our banner up there. I went up over there for the bike night, brought the professional belt, the world title belt that they're fighting for. So, yeah, a lot of exciting things going on for Donnybrook.
This is real. Every time that you do a battle in Barrie, it is so much bigger than the one previous.
It has to be. I mean, man, I'm telling you, when you spend $40,000 to $50,000 to put one of these shows on, so a lot of times we're happy if we only lose a couple $1,000s. But look, what we understand it's a growing business. I did this for my kids to grow a business themselves. My son, he went a different route. He opened up a land development company.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's on it because she went to school for videography and the social media and all
She's
that.
Damn good. Did you see her in here last time when she was in here?
Of course.
Yeah.
I always
Very
watch my
good.
little Peanut. She's like my little clone. She would fist fight me in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she would. I'm sure she'd get a couple of good shots in, too. Rex Thompson with us. We're looking at partly sunny skies today, around 77 degrees. Great project weather. Tickets.
Yeah.
Let's talk more on the last-minute folks, the folks that would love to go. We're not sure if we can make it. We're going to make it.
We'll have
11th hour decision.
So we'll have we'll have tickets at the door. There's because we can sell about 1,800 tickets at the door. We sell right around. We usually sell out all the VIP tables, but this time we added on. We have 25 tables instead of 10.
Okay.
So we have more tables this time, and I think there's only about 8 left.
All right.
6 or 8, I can't remember. So the VIPs, when you buy a VIP table, you get to come in early. You come in at 5:30. You come to the back door.
Yep.
We lead you in there. You get to get in and get seated before the big crowd, so you don't have to stand in the lines.
Yep.
Get everybody else
settle in.
Yeah, absolutely. General admission will be $50 at the door. If you pre-buy tickets now, they're only $40.
Okay.
And if you buy like families, we'll give you discounts if you buy 4 or more tickets.
All right, that's good to know. When's that pre-buy expire?
That pre-buy expires, I believe, next Thursday.
Okay, so a couple of days before the event. Okay. Wow. Any ladies fighting?
Yes. Priya Sin is coming back. She's going to be fighting Renee Bean. Renee Bean is Kyra Lee's
amazing.
Kyra Lee's teammate out of Combat Fitness.
Damn.
Ed Collins, his fight got dropped. Lane Buzzle broke his foot during training. So
how did Ed take that news? Because he has been
Ed was so happy because he was going to go home and eat the biggest pizza, fried chicken dinner because he was starting his weight cut. So he was starting to be a little miserable.
Oh, my God.
But, he was like, I'm so angry that I'm going to be eating pizza tonight.
Wow. He's
Ed's a fighter. Ed understands the game.
He was so fully invested. This has got to be a roller coaster for some of these guys because you can you're so engrossed and invested.
And if you don't have a good coach and a good mindset, it will fuck you. You need to have, that's your coach's job to keep you grounded, make sure that you're not going through that roller coaster.
Yeah, right.
And that's what he did. He stood right up in front of class because I went back there. I was like, Dude, I just got done teaching the beginners class, and I got the message from Lane, and I was like, and Lucas walked in. I was like, Luke, do you want to tell the gentle giant?
Oh my God.
He's like, yep. And so I thought he was going to pull him to the side. Oh, fuck no. He goes right in class, and he's like, by the way, Ed, your fight's no longer on. It's like, oh, shit. Now we're all going to pay for this one.
It's been a long time since we've seen Ed in the cage at the Barry Auditorium.
Yeah. Yeah, because he fought over in New York. He fought that the number one guy in the Northeast. He was undefeated.
Yeah.
Ed was like, I need to fight that guy.
What happened?
So what happened, it was Ed was going right along with his game plan. He knew he was going to get taken down because the guy was a good wrestler. He was strong. The guy looked like a fucking model. And he's just the epitome of the best human being anybody. If you ever had a kid, that's who you would model your kids after. You're like, you want to be that guy. So it's super hard to hate the guy.
Yeah.
And even though we all wanted to.
Yeah.
But so what happened was Ed got stuck in a case, and it's a sit out. It's like a head and arm. And he scissored his hand in between his legs. Well, Ed's hands are huge, and when you wrap them up and put a glove on, so he couldn't get his hand out. And in New York, if you get pinned on the ground and they start punching you, it's 3 or 4 shots. They stop the fight. So Lucas hollered up. He's like, give up your back, stand up. So as soon as he gave up his back, the guy got a rear naked choke on him. And Ed was super disappointed. He was mind fucked for days over that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was, because it happened in the first round. So he was like, son of, I think Ed had a real chance at winning that fight, and he fought, and he trained so hard for it.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the fight game.
That's how it can go.
Some days you're the prey, sometimes you're the predator.
It's a lot of it is like Lucas is always saying, it comes down to mechanics. It can, not necessarily brute force and strength, but mechanics.
Yeah. Anything can happen in a fight. When you're standing up, and if you're within arm's reach for a knockout, he's within arm's reach for a knockout.
Yeah.
So that's why, self-defense, we teach how to close the distance. We don't want to be, you don't want to stand out and have in a self-defense situation. It's awesome to have a nice, slick combination to start a fight.
Sure.
But then from there, if that doesn't end the fight, you're going to want to be in close because you don't want to do that.
There's a fly flying around the studio this morning. I just want you to know. If he lands on your forehead or whatever, yesterday almost.
At least he's not a skeeter.
Well, he's been here since yesterday.
Fred.
And he's right there. You want to name him Fred?
Fred.
All right, he's right there.
Fred the fly.
And
don't you kill him. What are you doing?
Trying to kill him.
You can't name him and then kill him, you psychopath. Children were just happy you had Fred the fly in here, and you're like, watch this, kids. I bet you're a blast at parties.
Hopefully kids aren't watching this morning.
What the hell was that guy, the serial killer, used to dress up as a clown and kill everyone? In Texas.
Yeah. What was his name? Damn it. What was his name?
We
just saw the documentary on
Yeah.
that too. Son of a bitch. But anyway,
Okay.
yesterday I almost broke some equipment around here trying to swat this guy. I was trying to catch him midair.
Man, you should come to class and
With my
take care of them anger issues.
With my lightning fast reflexes. Did you hear about, can we talk a little bit of Vermont news?
Yeah.
Did you hear about this $11.8 million worth of cocaine that was hidden in the baby wipes that was nabbed at the border?
Fucking A. There goes my weekend. I stopped doing cocaine days ago.
Did you hear about this story, though? I was just reading about it last night. I was finally getting caught up in the news.
I started, my nose started dripping in the back of my throat when I saw it. I was
boy.
like, son of a bitch.
And then we have...
So it looks like the cops are going to have a hell of a party this weekend.
We have the Rutland elder care homes facing enforcement after state investigators allege resident abuse and neglect. VT Digger ran the story. Finally, we have a media outlet that is just starting to catch on to this.
I grew up next door to a nursing home, and I used to hear them nurses hit them, scream at them, and it was just, it's horrible. And so That's like our plan. My family's always been the same way. I'm dying in my living room right there. That's it.
That's how you want to go out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to put me in a home, put a fucking pillow over my head. Don't. That's what family's for. That's what family's all about. We lost that.
Yeah. Right.
You know when we lost family
Yeah.
was when we started telling mothers if they lived with their father, they could not get benefits. So what happened was now you have a bunch of families. You can't have your father live there. So we created all these single mothers. We've created all this. So now we don't have that family structure.
Understand.
Right. So back in the day, that's what happened. Your family would gather around. You'd sit in the living room and you'd drink coffee till grandpa died.
Sure.
That's what you did. That's how I want to die.
Yeah.
We don't do that no more. We're so busy in our lives. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
We don't have time to take a day off from work. So what do? We have to let Medicare, we have to let the government take my parent away and take care of him, because that is the reality of fucking life now.
Yeah.
How sad is that? We have gotten ourselves so big that we can't even take care of our own family. Do you want to be that big? I used to think I wanted to be that big. I wanted to be huge. I wanted to be really, really rich. I want to be Donald Trump. That's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Then as I got older and I realized, I was like, you know what? I got everything I want.
Yeah.
Don't
Well
need-
said.
So
Friday mornings, we like to do the stupid criminal file, and I'd like to do
nice.
that. I'd like to do that this morning. If are you with me on this?
yeah, absolutely.
37-year-old Wesley Santamore from New Mexico needed some cash to pay off a few bills and repair his car. So he did what any logical person would do. He robbed a bank. But it gets better. When he walked into this Wells Fargo branch and handed the teller his love note demanding all the cash that she had and to be quiet about it, the teller did what tellers always do, Rex. She asked for ID before handing her loot over. And, of course, knowing that the only thing between, getting the cash in his hand versus not getting the cash was his ID, he naturally opened his wallet and handed the teller his ID, which, of course, she looked at and handed back to Mr. Santamore along with all of the cash. And old Wesley even said, "Thank you and have a nice day," at which point the teller said, "You're welcome, Mr. Santamore," while he calmly walked away. And Wesley made it to his favorite watering hole to celebrate with a cold beer. And he actually got most of that beer finished before the cops showed up. And, after all, they didn't have to look very far. Just started asking around if anybody knew where Wesley Santamore might be. So there you have it.
Under the bridge. In a van down by the river.
Our stupid criminal file, Wesley Santamore. Yes, we are giving his full name out over the air. Are you worried that Wesley's going to show up here and find you and I?
No, not at all. Not at all. But if he needs my address or gas money, let me know.
NASA's gearing up for another countdown to launch the Artemis, the rocket.
You watch what a joke NASA is.
Do you? Yeah.
Elon Musk makes them look like morons.
True. They had a fuel leak.
They have
Last minute, Rex. We got a fuel leak. We're not launching.
Well, I'd rather him do that than launch him up and be like that teacher, the one that got blown all to hell that we were watching, right? We were traumatized as kids watching that
Space
shit.
Shuttle Discovery.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was in the library.
I was in 8th grade watching that thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's the difference between government-run programs and privately run. You notice how far ahead Elon Musk is?
Right.
And, and NASA keeps falling further and further and further behind.
They're going to launch this rocket tomorrow, Rex, to the moon. They've tightened up the valve. So
is it named Alice?
Artemis.
Alice?
What's Alice? Go ahead.
To the moon?
Oh.
Alice? They should have named it Alice. They're sending it to the moon. Jackie Gleason would be in heaven. Oh, he is in heaven.
He is in heaven.
We hope.
God, I love Jackie Gleason.
I know.
Oh, my God. I mean
all the young people are like, who the fuck? They're Googling. Jackie Gleason.
Smoking the Bandit.
Right?
Oh. But anyway, they're launching this rocket. It's unmanned, but it's going to the moon tomorrow.
Nice. No monkeys, dogs, nothing in it?
No.
Yeah, it's probably
great
alien shit inside of there,
Wouldn't it be great
making deliveries to the aliens on the moon base that they have up there on the dark side.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could just, at the last second, if NASA could just grab somebody that really deserves going to the moon, grab them without
Like Alice?
Well, no. I mean, somebody that really deserves to disappear, grab them, put them in the capsule, lock the door, and
How do we
send
know
them
that
up
they're
there.
not?
This is true.
Should be some secret government
Do you
program
think
sending
that?
people to the moon.
Do you think that the whole landing on the moon, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, all that, back in I think it was 70, was that a hoax? Was that a conspiracy? Is there a conspiracy? But
No,
did we really land?
dude, I can make a conspiracy last forever. They're crazy. You'll never. And if somebody believes in a conspiracy, you can't stop it. You can't, because I can just
Picks up its own momentum.
Oh yeah, dude. Say anything you want, and I'll say anything you want. I'll turn it into a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Give me a fact.
The fact is that there are people who live right here in the city of Barrie who would love to have an outdoor skating rink, something to enjoy during the winter. And
I can't conspiracy. I can't do that against him. I can't do that. Pick something else, my man, because Damien's my boy, and I agree with it. I agree. I can't turn that one into. The only conspiracy is that the government is working with the Chinese to keep the American product out of here, because the city council has secretly been working with the Wuhan labs to bring back monkeypox and stop the skating rink from being here. See how easy that is?
what about all the loud cars that are going by with the pipes and
Those are government officials. Those are government officials throwing red flags out to get a ban on loud cars. You didn't know that, did you? Flat Earth Society.
What about the new Whippet bill in New York now? Is there a conspiracy about this?
So, yes, so that with the Whippet bill, what it is when you whip it, your mind becomes super clear and you're able to think and you can see past what these politicians are trying to push on you. So it scared the hell out of them, so they're trying to pass this Whippet bill. Got another one?
This was mistaken, and people misinterpreted this as thinking that they had to show ID to buy whipped cream in New York. Total misunderstanding here.
Oh.
Do you think that you should be 21 and older to buy whipped cream?
Absolutely not. No way.
I thought you were.
You shouldn't. You carry a gun and join the army at 18. Why can't you buy your whippets? Clear your mind. Show these politicians.
Let's see here. For the first time in 25 years, Rex, the month of August did not have a named storm, but now that September has arrived, things are changing in the tropical Atlantic. Yesterday, the National Hurricane Center announced that Tropical Storm Danielle, who is currently in the,
go figure.
She's in the North Atlantic right now.
Yeah.
Expected to strengthen into a hurricane by when?
Of
Rex?
course.
Tomorrow.
Of course, because they just fired up the ARPA up in the Antarctica, which is a weather control device that they're using. It does, because it raises our oil prices. It's how they control us. It's all a control thing. The government's trying to control us with their weather machine. And then they raise our prices because it's a disaster. Then they get to bring FEMA in. Then FEMA comes in and they take over everybody, put us in jail and arrest us and FEMA camps and guillotines.
What about this? The California legislature.
Oh, don't get me started on California. Communist California.
Passing a bill that in the year 2023, which is when, Rex? Next year, you cannot buy a new current year gasoline-powered automobile. Has to be electric.
So that's because the Chinese electric companies are involved. And it has to do with Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, just look at the laptop.
Of course it does.
It does. And they won't let us see it because they retract everything.
Yes.
It's a government conspiracy how they retract it.
What about Mar-a-Lago?
Well, there you go. We have seen it. What a conspiracy that is. When Donald Trump left that office, there was an open order for everything that he owned was his.
Sure.
Just said mine.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a note, said mine. Why are they there? It's his.
A dozen bills were passed this week.
Oh, yeah, in secrecy?
No. In California, protecting or expanding abortion access in the state of California.
Like I said, there you go.
They're trying to, leaders are trying to make California a safe haven for reproductive, I'm quoting here, freedom.
Baby killers.
Reproductive
That's all they're doing.
freedom.
So they're going to have so they got baby farms over there where they can just run them through like a McDonald's line, slaughtering babies. Just like a cow mill or something. See, that's what they're doing. That's what they're really doing.
The nuclear power plant.
It's because it's the New World Order. They're trying to hold the population down.
The nuclear power plant in Ukraine.
Yes.
Russians are continuing to shell the area. They're now talking, they have been talking for the last, I don't know, at least a week.
Why are the Ukrainians stopping the Russians? It's the Russians' land. Give it back. Have I hit every conspiracy out there yet? Because isn't Ukraine, they're just a bunch of Nazis? And Putin is just a good guy. He's going over there to try to stop the Nazi invasion. Didn't you see this coming? The Ukrainians were about to invade Russia, and Putin was like, he's way smart. Him and Donald Trump are so smart. They were like, no way. We're going to stop it before it happens because they can predict shit like this. So, what else? I love conspiracy. You can keep them going forever. They're never ending.
What do you say to people?
I don't.
Help me.
I used to argue, and I don't.
No, what do you say to people who take you too seriously?
I love them people. If I can find where
that
little, I'll poke it.
Well, you may have found a few this morning.
I can just imagine the comment section right now.
You may have found a few.
I love it. I love it.
Too many.
If I can rent free space in somebody's head, I just think that's hilarious.
There's too many people right now that are taking too many subjects, too many topics too seriously.
Yeah, and that's not even a political thing. That's just there's the left or the right. I've tried to like agree with people on the left, and they're like, "You fucking racist." I'm like, holy shit! What do you? Where did that come from? And then the right, they're just like, well, if you don't like that, you're the fucking enemy. Get out of here, you stupid liberal. And I'm like, there's no middle ground. You're absolutely. So I troll everybody. I'll troll both sides. Don't care. Drooling Joe, Trump, who doesn't matter to me.
What about this conspiracy? I could make something up.
Yeah.
Should we make something up?
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
I used to make shit up all the time.
I got this one. Ready?
Perfect.
I wonder if Rex got his motorcycle for free from Wilkins Harley Davidson in trade for advertising.
That's not even a very good conspiracy because it's true. John was like, man, it was more than just advertising. John's like, you're such a good dude.
Yeah, you're just a good
guy. You're good looking. You're
take the bike.
Actually, that's how he got me out of the shop. They're like, how the fuck do we get rid of this guy?
Just take it.
Will you take
go.
this motorcycle and leave?
Get out of here. My God. Labor Day weekend is right in front of us.
Yeah, so I'll be riding around handing out tickets. Anybody needs tickets? And if you're a store and you want a banner to stand up with a self, we'll put those in your stores too.
Okay,
just for advertising.
You just dropped one here.
Yeah,
this morning. So we have that. It'll be in our window.
Yep. I have one up at the mall. We have one at Gusto's. So yeah, we put them up everywhere.
All right. I know that you were watching Serena and Venus Williams, who got knocked out of the doubles at the U.S. Open last night. This is a big deal for you. The Williams sisters.
I know.
Started well in their doubles match on Thursday, but the Czechs fought back. So, were you watching any of that?
Yeah, always. I always follow tennis. I follow the ball. Ding, dong. No, I'm not into that combat sports shit. I love the story of the girls. I love how their father took care of them. Have you ever watched the story?
No.
It's a great story with Will Smith.
Please.
Yeah, it's awesome. Their dad was their manager, and he was a no bullshit kind of guy. I love their story. I think it's a great story with them two girls. I would watch tennis just because of them girls, where they came from, how they did it, how their dad did it. Like, predators came onto them when they were like 15, 16 years old and offering stupid low amounts. It was a lot of money for them at the time, and the dad's like, we're going to think about it. And they're like, well, you have to sign tonight before she goes and plays tomorrow because the deal's not going to be the same tomorrow. He's like, okay, well, if that's the case, that's the case. And he wouldn't play into it.
I want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors, Sunrise Gymnastics in Berlin. Where they thrive on helping Vermont children learn and grow and love the sport of gymnastics, and they do
My kids went there.
Did they?
Great place.
They do a ton more than just teach gymnastics. They empower children, just like Lily, to build life tools to be successful, perseverance, discipline, confidence, character building, all of that stuff. It's just a wonderful gym. They've got the newly added Little Jumpers class for age 3 to 4 every Saturday from 11:30 to 12:30. They got the tumbling class starting on the 7th of September, and every Wednesday from 6:15 until 7:15 at night is when they're going to be doing that. Open gym every Saturday starting in October. From 2 to 3:30 for age 6 and under, and then from 3:30 to 5 for age 7 and above. $15 cash. You let your kids run around in there, get some exercise. Learn more, sunrisegym.com.
Oh, I got to say something before we go.
Sure.
Chris Peralt. Remember how we talked about Chris Peralt?
Yes.
So this week, what we are looking for, we're looking for sponsors for him because this is his cut week.
Yep.
So he has to take he's taking a week off from work, so he's not going to make a paycheck. So we're looking for cash sponsors for this week. I don't care if it's $25, $50. This is a local guy fighting in a huge fight, and the amateur fighters don't make any money to fight. So he's putting everything on the line for free to include losing a week's pay. So if you're a local business, a club, you want to sponsor a fighter, even if it's $100, $50, $200, something like that, it would be much appreciated because it's too hard to try to work during cut week. It's just, and I don't want him around my guys while he's cutting.
All right. So how would someone get involved with that?
You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Granite City MMA. I don't care if they reach out to you and ask for the contact information, whatever you want to do.
All right.
However we make it happen. We've already had, I got to give a shout out. Damian Hardacre came up, dropped off cash for him.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Damian's always been a huge support.
Sure.
Him and Katie. So
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he still training over there at Granite City MMA?
Who?
Damian Hardacre.
Who?
Really? He was kicking ass over there for a little while.
When?
Well, it was a while ago.
Whose ass? What's he kicking?
Kate's.
I don't think so.
No? Other way around?
Yeah, Kate trained way harder than him.
Get your tickets now. DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com. Battle and Bury Aid. A stacked fight card. September 10th. The only sanctioned MMA event promotion in the state of Vermont. Donnybrook Fight Promotions. We love having you as a presenting sponsor here, Rex. So much. And we appreciate you sincerely for supporting us, backing us up. Find them on Facebook or Instagram.
I think we have the same sponsor, too.
Who's that?
Quick Lube.
Yes,
Greg Premont and them guys up there.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say enough good things, man, because they, like I said before, there was a mistake on my son's truck, and they never tried to deny it. Nothing. They pulled it right in, took care of it. Just
top brass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wednesdays, Rex, are Ladies' Day over there, where you get a free car wash and a flower with an oil
Nice.
change. You ought to think about pulling in there. I think you could pass as a lady. I think just a
I think when the
little
lady saw my bike.
tiny little bit of lipstick, and I think you'd be good. You'd clear it. Put a wig on. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me, man.
We
You
want
got my other buddy coming on quick, huh?
wasn't planning on it, but we may be doing that soon.
Perfect.
We're gonna.
He's
have
got
a,
an awesome product, so.
We're gonna have a discussion here in the any minute now. So
All right,
thank you, Rex.
I'll leave you guys alone.
We love you, buddy. Want to thank Washington County Mental Health, which is also one of our sponsors, and they just do such a great service for our community, embracing those individuals that are living in our community who are suffering with mental illness every single day. Their hardworking team engages in person-centered care for any kind of emotional or behavioral issue, developmental disability, from prevention and wellness to assessment and stabilization. They are here to help. We've got all of their posts as often as we can, getting them shared on our Facebook page, but check them out on Facebook at WCMHS. Presenting sponsor of the Air It Out podcast. Also, Cornerstone. If you haven't been over and tried the mac and cheese over there at the Cornerstone Pub and Kitchen, you don't know what you're missing. Right in the heart of Berry City. Every Tuesday they have a $5 burger night, which I just participated in last Tuesday, or that was the Tuesday before, I can't remember. But from their mac and cheese to their kids' menus, their entrees, you will not soon forget that it is one of your favorite restaurants. Try the cranberry ginger drink, and that's berry, cranberry, B-A-R-R-E. Find them on Facebook at Cornerstone PK and on the web at Cornerstone PK. PK standing for, of course, pubandkitchen.com. And place an order ahead for pickup. If you don't want to do any cooking tonight, you want to swing by, pick up your order and head home, sit in your underwear, and enjoy a great meal in the privacy of your own home from the Cornerstone. You can do that. 476-2121. 476-2121. And that's going to do it for Aired Out. We're looking at just abundant sunshine today. Blue sky. It is gorgeous out there. It is just beautiful. 79 degrees later on today. For tomorrow, a little bit back into summer-like weather, mid-80s with sunshine and clouds, and then a little bit more comfortable on Sunday. Upper 70s, afternoon showers or thunderstorms at about 40%. And then we are into the rain for both Monday, Labor Day, and Tuesday. Much needed rain showers. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Get yourself to Northfield. Find their Facebook page for the Northfield Labor Day celebration. It is absolutely jam-packed with stuff starting today. And we'll try to link it up. I think we did yesterday for you, but we'll try to do that again. Please be well. We'll check you again soon. Thanks for catching the show with Rex Thompson. And what a thrill to have Dave Moody on with us as we get ready for the Labor Day Classic on Sunday. Aired Out Podcast live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street, Barrie, Vermont.